Hi, Adrian. I have one important question that we need to clarify. So, there's a lot of all companies are using document management systems, but I try to explain to them that they need to work in a object-oriented way of working and not document-centric way of working.
So data-centric.
Data-centric, of course. So, can you explain the difference between a normal document management system and what we are trying to show them?
Okay, I think I can try to explain that. I mean, if you look at the typical owner operator, some 40% of the information that they have is actually held as unstructured information. It's held in documents, drawings, etc., etc. And surveys have also shown that about, people are using about 20% of their time trying to find that information, and before they actually use it, have to verify it. In many cases, that means actually going out to the physical facility itself and doing a walk down to verify the information and the documentation is correct. So what we are seeing is that documentation inherently can be inconsistent and incorrect, and people don't know what to trust. They look through the documentation, they find documents, but then one document says one thing and another document says something else, and they don't know what to trust. And that tends to result in people having to do these physical walk downs in the facility and the inherent costs and risks associated with that. Now, let's contrast that, the document-centric way of working, with a more data-centric way of working. So, for example, in the case of a 3D model, yes, updating a 3D model, you need a skilled user to be able to do that update. But once the update is done, you simply press a button, and out come plot plans, layout drawings, arrangement drawings, isometric drawings. You do one modification, and then all the drawings can be generated very simply, very quickly. And that's very different from a document-centric world, where we have to update each individual drawing. Take smart instrumentation systems. Again, a lot of the documentation can be generated automatically, for example, loop diagrams, cross-wiring diagrams, termination diagrams. It's not even necessary to have these as formal documents that get signed off. They can be generated as electronic reports from the system, and they have a date stamp and a time stamp on them. So that can potentially eliminate thousands upon thousands of documents. And these documents cost money. Updating a document typically will cost hundreds of dollars, if not thousands. They have to be updated, revised, they have to go through a review and approval cycle, and then they have to be distributed after being updated. It can cost hundreds of dollars for a simple revision. Multiply that by the number of revisions, it's a significant volume. So by being able to automate this process, we can eliminate lots of costs. SmartPod P&ID, another example. Again, creating the P&ID itself in a data-centric world, we can ensure the correct specifications for component series. We can actually do the error line check automated. So instead of actually having to check whether or not the P&ID is consistent with isometrics, for example, we can automate that validation. It's a very long, complex, tedious job to do, and we can automate that. So that is something that we can do with a data-centric world. Also, I think we shouldn't forget, in the next 5 to 10 years, some 50% of anybody working on facilities today, of skilled workers, are going to be retired. It's just demographics. And there's going to be a whole new generation of facility workers coming. And clearly, this new generation of facility workers, they will not want to work with document-centric systems. They won't want to work with updating individual documents. They'll expect that their employer has modern data-centric ways of working. So if we want to encourage the best talent into our industry, then the only way of doing this is to provide new ways of working and better, more interesting ways to do their jobs.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing a bit.
Okay.